Today is World Ranger Day, which is held annually to highlight the work that rangers do in protecting nature. Rangers across the world risk their lives daily in the battle against poachers. SABC News reporter Tumelo Machogo is in the Kruger National Park, and we cross over to him right now. Tumelo, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. What do you have for us this time around?
Well, good morning, Simpi, where the Rangers have started arriving here at the Kruger National Park to actually celebrate this day and also commemorate this day. You remember that this day is celebrating those fallen heroes, those who also have been injured in the line of duty here, because these Rangers, they risk their life daily going out there, faced by rain, weather, they're faced by wild animals, but also being faced by poachers that are coming into the park also to come and poach. So, and all these poachers are also coming here armed. But today, the celebration here, they will be celebrated today. But also the theme for this year is called Rangers Wellness. So, mental health is also one of those important issues that the park will be looking into. Let's speak to the managing executive, Mr. Gareth Coleman. That just talk to us about this day, and also what are you guys doing to make sure that their mental health is also protected, especially when they go out there faced with these poachers that are, most of the time, they come in here armed.
Morning, Tumelo. Yes, today's World Rangers Day. It's a fantastic day for rangers across the world to celebrate and to acknowledge, for us as the public, to acknowledge the incredible work they're doing to both manage our conservation areas, which are so important for the fight against global warming, and also just to preserve the heritage, both natural and cultural, for future generations. It's true, today we reflect back as well on those who've lost their lives, but not only people who've lost their lives. I think we don't always understand the huge challenges rangers face on a daily basis in terms of separation from their families, in terms of the long hours they work, and yes, more recently, when I say recently, the last 10 or 12 years, the huge challenges that they face from poachers. You know, it's a daily battle in the Kruger National Park at least, and for rangers in different parks as well, in dealing with poachers who are often heavily armed, and we face a special challenge because we are home to one of the largest concentrations of white rhino in the world. So our rangers are given a special task by the people of South Africa and the world, and they face those increased challenges from crime syndicates. With regard to wellness, we do our best. It can never really be enough. People undergo extreme mental challenges in the bush. We obviously have our general services, which are provided through a contractor, lines which rangers can speak to. But we also have regular monthly sessions, which are provided by mental health professionals who come into the park and are supported by the SAMParks honorary rangers, who have group sessions with the rangers and even with their families to discuss some of the issues they're facing in the bush.
What are the initiatives that you guys have undertaken to make sure that they are also protected out there in the wild? We know that you guys have the Canine Unit. What other measures do you guys have, and also to protect the wild, the animals in the park? What are the measures that you have been taking?
Look, obviously our rangers, because in the Kruger National Park we are such a hotspot with regard to poaching, our rangers are probably some of the most advanced in the world in terms of anti-poaching tactics, in terms of following of spoors, and more recently, of course, the improvement and increases to our Canine Unit. Our Canine Unit, not only in terms of the dogs who are on leashes and who are following trackers, but we now have dogs who are able to follow poachers and follow their spoor and smell over fairly long distances, which has been a fantastic improvement to what we do. We've also increased our general surveillance in areas where there are concentrations of rhino in particular. We have vehicle stops and searches. We have a much greater presence in terms of trying to ensure that we become less predictable for the crime syndicates that operate within our park.
We've seen now the COVID-19 has hit almost every businesses, and I'm sure the Kruger Park also took a huge knock. Talk to us about that, and also talk to us about the vaccination process, especially with your employees, because some people, they'll be coming here to the park and not vaccinated. But what are the measures that you guys have taken to ensure that some of the employees here are vaccinated?
Yeah, Tumelo, of course, we're a tourist destination, and we've been hit like every other tourist destination across the globe. We also relied quite heavily on international tourists, and that's dried up almost completely. We, of course, do have a very faithful and strong, loyal South African clientele who visit the park and who continue to visit the park. Our numbers are obviously down, and it's impacted on our revenue. With regard to Covert Protocols, we introduced those very early when the first lockdowns happened. So the general procedures around sanitizing your hands, wearing masks, and keeping distance from people has been basically instilled into all our employees as well as guests when they arrive. Our vaccination program is going well. We've had fantastic support from the Department of Health in Mpumalanga, who've been in the park over the last 6 to 8 weeks, I think, at regular intervals, where we have kind of, I'm not going to call it mass vaccination, but certainly a large number of employees are given time off to come and vaccinate. And we've probably vaccinated through that process alone well over around 50% of our employees.
Thank you so much. That is Gareth Coleman. He is the managing executive here. Let's quickly speak to Hein. He's the manager for tourism. Hein, just talk to us about the initiative. We know that the park has taken a knock when it comes to COVID-19 with tourism, but now the tourism sector is opening up, especially inter-provincial travel is opening up. What are the measures that you guys taking to ensure that we attract more people to come to the park?
Yeah, good morning. No, it's absolutely fantastic now that we've opened up, especially with the last lockdown for leisure travel for our guests from Gauteng. That's also allowed to travel now, and quite a large component of our visitors come from Gauteng. And our camping has really increased tremendously. Obviously, we're using the statistics from 2019. And our camping has increased as much as 5.7%. Our accommodation units is still down compared to 2019, but we've got an incredible, great initiative and campaign that we launched the 28th of July until the 23rd of September, where we reward people that do long stays. If you book 30 days and more in one camp, in one unit, you get up to 50% discount, 14 days or longer, up to 30% discount. In the south of Kruger, that campaign is available for Pretoriaskop and the new Skukuza Safari Lodge. And then in the north of Kruger, from Olifants, Letaba, Mopani, Singwetsi and Puna Maria, all accommodation units are available for this offer for new reservations until the 23rd of September. So a lot of people spend lockdown in Gauteng and in other places in the country, and what better place can you imagine staying in a unit in Olifants Camp overlooking the Olifants River and work from there for about a month. So we're very, very grateful that our domestic tourists from South Africa supported us, and through their tourism support we can celebrate Rangers Day today and contribute towards conservation.
Okay, thanks, Heinz. Thank you so much for speaking to us. That was Heinz Grobler. He is one of the tourism manager here at the Kruger National Park. Just behind me, the rangers are actually doing the march and the patrol there. They are actually very happy today and very happy to be celebrating this important day of World Rangers Day, because it is their day today, Simpiwe, and this is why they are here, and this is why they're going to be celebrating their lives and their lives, because they have survived a lot in the park and also in the area because of what they faced with on a daily basis, especially when it comes to poachers who are coming into the park to come and poach. But today is their day to celebrate those fallen heroes, but also to celebrate their lives and also those who have been injured in the line of duty. Simpiwe.
All right, Tumelo, great chatting to you. Thank you, man, for that update. We do appreciate your time.